All right, hello everybody. I am back here for another tutorial video. We are going to be looking at the what's this tournament? Easter Links. Okay. So, first thing that I want to talk about here is it is a par 4. I believe it's the one over the cliff edge. So we're going to talk about a strategy here that is probably in the expert division for going at the green here. And the method that I like to use for this hole is, a decent driver that's going to have some curl. I don't know what the wind's going to be like. I heard that all 4 different tours. So in case you guys haven't heard, I heard that all 4 winds, so rookie, pro, expert, master, are going to be different directions. So I don't know if that's true or not, but I will find out here momentarily, because I'm going to do my expert round with my main, and then I am going to put together rookie and pro guides for you today as well. So I will try to focus on master tomorrow and get you guys the necessary guides. Hopefully you guys are still, learning from my videos and find them useful. As far as the Facebook thing goes, I'm not really going to get into it too much. I really don't know, the extent. I've gotten a lot of messages about what's going on with, Elite or Legends, and, I really don't know for the most part. So the reason that I was kicked, I'm assuming it's, kind of a retaliation of, certain guys getting booted from Legends, and so I got booted for essentially no reason. I mean, something that I wasn't involved with to begin with is the reason that I got booted, and it is very frustrating to me because I did nothing to those guys. As far as, coming back, I don't know. Right now I'm in Legends. I don't see a foreseeable future where, I'm going to be posting in Elite. I don't see myself posting in Legends for a while either, but I am going to continue to at least monitor and see what you guys are saying if you are in Legends. So there's a chance that I might at least see something that you might say in Legends, whereas Elite, I have no authority to do so whatsoever because I was removed from the group. And, like I said, it's nothing that I did to cause that to happen. So it's very frustrating to see that happen, and lost a lot of respect for Elite for doing that, as I wasn't involved in the feud whatsoever. So to see the backlash in effect towards me or some of the other members that weren't involved is very upsetting, and we're going to just leave it at that for now. There's not much more that I want to really touch on the subject because, like I said, it's not really my battle. I'm here for the golf, okay? I'm here to help you guys put together strategies for these holes, and that's pretty much my sole purpose. And so for the short term, that's what we're going to focus on here, is I'm going to put together these 4 guides for you guys. Hopefully you guys still find them useful, and everything else we're just going to leave to the other guys to sort through, and hopefully they can find some kind of unity between one another, because I think the whole thing's just stupid. So without much more to say here, let's set up our bag for hole number 1, expert tournament. You are probably going to want to, I don't know what the wind direction is. I'm assuming we're going to be able to go over the cliff. If we can't go over the cliff, the way that I like to lay up is towards the left, if at all possible, of the bunker, in between the trees and the bunker, which is very doable. there's like a little void that I'll show you guys just in case you need it. I'll show you in this video if you guys want to pay attention. And, you know, I'm going to try to appeal to the masses here and probably go with a Kingmaker. Whereas, you know, I probably, if, you know, under this account, I probably want to use a snowman ball, but you can see, you know, I have a bunch of snowmans, but I'm assuming guys could be running out of them. They might have never picked them up. So, and same reason that you see me, you know, a lot of times I'll play sniper as well. It's for you guys. If you have a hammerhead that's this level, there's no point to play a sniper anymore. I'm just gonna let you know. You know, 6 is the point that it becomes, you know, questionable, but 7 is the, I mean, you can just look at the stats. Everything is better except for a little ball guide. So there's really no use for that extra ball guide, especially when you're talking about huge wins. It's nice to be precise with the ball guide, but in terms of, you know, once the wind gets up to a certain point, you're not really using the ball guide anyway. You need to think about how the ball guide's going to change more so than anything. So you don't need a lot of shot trail to figure out how the ball guide's going to change. But let's set up our bag here. You know, one of the things that I want to encourage is you guys, for the most part, to keep accurate clubs in your bags as far as possible. So, you know, I've always preferred Endbringer over, say, Rapier. But, you know, you want to go with what you're comfortable with. And, you know, if your accuracy number's higher on Rapier, so this is kind of my deciding factor about when deciding about these two clubs is which has the higher accuracy. So in the early stages of Endbringer, you might see me have a Rapier on. I basically use it until the accuracy becomes, you know, basically obsolete. And for the most part, you're not going to see me on a Rapier much of anything unless I need a full backspin shot. So that's kind of the way that one goes. And, you know, I just kind of encourage you guys to put on kind of an accurate bag as your go-to. So you'll see me use Backbone a lot because the accuracy is 92. It's either that or B52. But, you know, same kind of boat. I try to appeal to the masses. More guys can use Backbone. So that's what we're going to go ahead and do. Not really sure, you know, I have an approach for this either way, so I just want to see what the wind's do. Okay, so we're pointed towards the hole, but if you look over to the left of this guy's bullseye, there's like a little void in the fairway where it opens up in the bunker. You see that little notch? So that's a good landing zone if you're going to lay up. You can do like one backspin as a layup with some curl. You cannot over curl it for the most part. So if you were to, you know, put it over the whole way to the side and just land it in that little opening up there, that's, you know, with like one backspin, you can get very aggressive towards the edge of the cliff for a layup pitch. But as you can see, for this guide, it's not going to be necessary. But in the event that you're playing this in the tour, and you can see there how critical landing on the fairway is. And that's one of the reasons that I encourage, you know, dead ball, snowman ball, because you can see, let me just try to point to it, the more I land up here, the more open it is. So even a berserker ball is going to be absolutely, you know, awesome. And what you're going to see me do for the most part is I'm going to take, you know, good side spin balls, because I like to do this without having to do a hook shot. It's going to be much more precise. So let me show you the spin. It's about 5 up. It's to the side, and you know, I usually play my driver right about 1 per ring. So you're going to see me do that there. You know, 8-9 rings over. And I try to land it pretty centered. That's a little right. So I do anticipate this going in the sand. You know, I was only a ring or 2 off. And like I said, you know, I'm not planning on qualifying today. I really want to do Masters, and I'm going to put together a guide for you. So Keep in mind, I wasn't very off, but make sure that if you're going to use this method, you know, if I want to tell you how I would change if it was actually me, because I'm putting together this guide, but that's not how I would play the shot. I would play it a little bit differently. One of two ways. I would either use full landscape curl to get more curl, and then I would have been in the bulk of the green. So had I used 100 curl, I'd be more over here towards the middle of the green. And you can see, power-wise, I would have had enough to get there. Yeah, and I kind of got to save this guy, so I'm going to try to focus on that. And here you're going to see me, you know, some guys might try to play the fairway. You're going to see me play the green. And you can see about how much break I'm playing. So let's see if I can't just pop this down there. Perfect ball. Save this guy, get him his birdie. Nope, nope, crap. So it didn't quite go downwind enough. A little unfortunate. Wanted to help that guy out, get him his birdie, but I'm assuming, you know, you still have 2 more days, guy. You'll be okay. So you want, you know, a re-chance to be able to fix this tomorrow. You don't want to start off with a birdie here anyway. So not the end of the world that I didn't save this guy here. More important for the weekend. But I can't believe I played too much break there. I would have thought, you know, especially looking at that shot trail, that it was, you know, very downwind and going to pop up in the air kind of. So I'll just pop this in, I guess, since it's an easy win. That way I can get the chest. I do believe I'm working towards a platinum here. So I do think, you know, that's coming very soon for me. But let me just talk about briefly about, you know, changing that shot, because I told you there was kind of 2 ways that I would change it. Well, one of the ways I might put on a berserker, especially since I have so many. I mean, I have, if you can land it into that opening spot, it's much more, and plus you don't have to go into power, so you can be more precise with your timing. So if you have plenty of berserkers, that's what I'm going to encourage you to do. Do kind of the same thing as me. You only needed to land, you know, 2 or 3 rings to the left of where I did to avoid the bunker. And then it would have been going right towards the hole. So, you know, I didn't miss by much. Speed-wise, I was pretty good. If you do use a berserker and you land it closer to the edge, make sure you don't topspin it that much. You're only going to need probably 4 topspin. So take off a little of the topspin. You know, same thing with if you're going to curl it more. It comes in a little bit faster. So if it was actually me going to, since I didn't technically need the curl, I just wanted to put together a guide for you guys to where, you know, you can still execute the shot without landscape curl. For all the people that watch me that are on Apple, you just want to use, you know, the most curl that you can, which is what I did. It was the most foam curl that I could use with a full power shot. So that's the way that you saw me set up to do that. But like I said, had I landed in that exact same spot with landscape curl, it would have been plenty to the left. It would have actually been maybe even too much to the left. So that's when I started to take off some of my side spin, sorry. I still keep that top spin on. Maybe I take off 1 bar for the extra momentum for all the right to left swing. But yeah, that hole should be very equable for you. If you don't get it, you're going to want to, especially today, forfeit out today, and give it a go tomorrow or at least Wednesday. One thing to keep in mind that I've noticed is the qualifying round is, you know, not very important anymore, especially if you make some albatrosses. The odds of you tying 3 consecutive rounds with somebody is going down dramatically. So, you know, the qualifier, not too important. For instance, you know, I went ahead and, you know, I put together these guides for you guys last tournament. And I shot an 11 under for my last tournament on my main. And even with that 11 under score, I still managed to get number one tiebreaker for my weekend round. So not much, priority on qualification round anymore, because all you need to do is go out and shoot an above average weekend opening round, and then you're in good position. For instance, I went out and shot a minus 29. So, that score is going to take precedence over the qualifier round. And somebody to have tiebreaker over me is then going to have a minus 29 in opening exactly to have me out tiebreakered by qualifier. So, and they would have to shoot 30 under outright in the opening round to have a better tiebreaker than me. So just keep in mind and not to mention the way that the Albatross and Eagle has to be the exact same way as well. So if you see a guy with, an Albatross and you don't have it, he's going to have you tiebreakered. So anytime that you get an Albatross, that's a good time to, especially if you're putting together a decent number, you do want to probably kind of stick with that score a little bit, because it's kind of your number one tiebreaker that's not dependent upon the number that you're on. So if you don't, make all those, the next lowest number, whatever it is, 14, 13 under, it's your next number one tiebreaker, aside from playing all the holes, which I'm sure everybody does, which is kind of a silly tiebreaker. But aside from, making sure that all 9 holes or all 18 holes are completed, Albatross becomes next in line past, whatever number you're on. So keep that in mind. I will be putting together the rest of these 9 holes for you guys. So like I said, hopefully these videos help you guys, and be on the lookout for hole number 2. See you guys momentarily.